If you're looking for a book about redemption and love and warmth and doing the right thing, then Let Love Take Over by Thompson Robert is something that you should definitely check out. Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I'm here today with a book review of a book that I read very recently and which I really enjoyed in more ways than one. The book is called Let Love Take Over by Thompson Robert, and this is a story of love, warmth, doing the right thing, past trauma, tragedy, and redemption. And there's so much more in this book. This book has only about 176 pages, and you can fly through it, and you can really enjoy this book because of reasons that I will be talking about further in this video. And if you'd like to buy this book after watching this video, after listening to my review, then please don't forget to use my Amazon affiliate link in the description box below. So I have a lot to talk about and I have a lot to tell you about this book. So without any further ado, let's dive right into this book review and let me share with you what this book is about and my thoughts about Let Love Take Over by Thompson Robert. Let Love Take Over is a story of a hot-blooded, righteous teenager called Joshua who has a penchant for picking fights. But one such well-intentioned, righteous fight turns into a bloody, violent, and absolutely traumatic tragedy, and this turns Joshua into a very meek and non-confrontational person. He does not want to fight with anyone, and if anybody comes up to him and says, hey, I want to pick a fight with you, all he does is, okay man, you are right. So he has adopted that kind of a thinking now. So his decision to stop being the righteous hero, to stop standing up for everything, anything and everything, it sort of affects his relationships in ways that he didn't think it would. So much to the point that his marriage with the very firebrand kind of person that Susan is, it is thrown onto the rocks. And parallelly, he is dealing with his absolutely manipulative and toxic boss called Mayur. But everything has its limits, or so they say. Will Joshua find or encounter that limit, and will he find redemption? Will he be able to win back the love of his life? And most importantly, will he be able to find himself again, and will he be able to use the wisdom that he finds through all of this and get over the tragedy that is now ruling his life? Will he be able to do this and achieve all this forms the entire story. There were quite a few things that I liked about Let Love Take Over, and the first and most important one was that I love how the author has used his own experiences as a management consultant to fill colors and details into Joshua's life. And when you're reading what Joshua is doing at work, you have the feeling, you can see that he knows what he's talking about. It's nice to read because sometimes authors tend to wing it through the whole book, but when you are reading about Joshua's work, it's there. You can see that he is applying himself to whatever work he is doing. It gives the character a sense of authenticity, and that is something that I really loved about Joshua, and how passionate he was about it as well. It just reflects. And the next point that I loved is how the author handled the whole concept of past trauma, guilt, and tragedy, and how it can have such a profound impact on your life, and how it can change you as a person to the point where your past self wouldn't be able to recognize your present self. And this whole concept was something that called to me on a very personal level, and you don't even have to dig deep throughout the story, or it's not like in the undertones or something. It's very obvious what the author is saying, and that delicate handling of this concept was a really huge plus for me. Another thing that struck me the most throughout this book is the way the author tells the reader that no matter what has happened in the past, you do not have to let it define you. You can choose your own reaction to whatever is happening, and you can choose how your future will pan out. And this brings the author to ask this question: will you be able to pick your fights? Will you be able to show heroism where it is needed and hold back where it is not? And the answer to this whole question is the lesson that the author is trying to give you throughout this whole book. And that is something that, at least in this point of time, I really needed to hear. Another mentionable thing that I liked was that there are certain jokes in the book that are literally snort worthy. Like when I read them, I was like, oh, that was good. But yes, those are what make this book more enjoyable than it already is. And then the language. The language is very easy to read. It is beginner friendly, and I finished this in, I think, not much time. I in one day I finished it, and I sat through the last 120 so pages, and I finished it in like 2 hours, I think. And it's that simple, that easy to read, and that's also a huge plus. The plot is very fast paced, and the author brings out points from the past as well as from the present, and he ties them up really well. And I felt that it was a little Bollywoody at times, but then again, plots like these are saviors in more ways than one. And when you know, actually feel that adrenaline rush, and when you start cheering for the main character, that is when I feel like you will appreciate such plots, such pace even more. And the last point that I'd like to talk about that I really enjoyed is that it is educational in certain ways. For example, there's this thing called Occam's razor, which the author explains towards the very beginning of the book. So what Occam's razor actually is the principle that sometimes the simplest or the most obvious solution is more often than not the right one. And the author uses this principle or whatever he's brought out to us throughout the book, and it's nice to see that uniformity. And these were things that made this book really enjoyable for me, although there were a few things that I did not like, which I will talk about in the next segment. There are a few things that I thought could have been better in Let Love Take Over by Thompson Robert. I will talk about them. The most obvious thing are the number of spelling mistakes and grammatical errors that are splattered, scattered, dumped throughout the book. But the onus of this, however, is on the editors, I think, because it's their job to make sure that everything is in order, and they had to do multiple rounds of editing and proofreading, and they had to catch these out and point them out so that the author could have corrected them. So this is more of an editorial thing, I feel like. The second thing that I did not like in of quite a few places was the fact that the writing is raw and childlike. The metaphors and jokes seem misplaced in a lot of places, and they aren't really needed. And I feel like they could have been worked upon a little bit more in order to make this a well-rounded and even better experience, because there are so many positives to it as well. The third point, and something that I feel the book could have done without, is the David Goliath story, which the author has told in here, and it could have been done without. It has taken so much space. Something that is used as a reference takes up about 29 pages. Yeah, I counted. And I don't think that it needed that kind of space, especially because when you're reading through that, it sort of takes away the focus from the main story. You are using it as a reference, but when you're using it as a reference, let it be just that. Don't have it bite a huge chunk out of your main story or out of your main plot. That was something that really grated on my nerves. But the reference is good, but it could have been mellowed down, toned down, cut a lot out of, because 29 pages is a lot just for references. And last, some paragraphs have sentences that don't sit well. They have absolutely no connection whatsoever. I mean, contextually, you might think that this is happening here, this is happening here, sure. But when you put them in a paragraph, they need to be coherent. They need to work well together, which in some places I found that they did not. But I feel like these are the things that I did not like about this book, and that's about it. Overall, despite the shortfalls that I found with this book, I still think that this book is a good, fast-paced, easy to read, beginner-friendly book which will give you certain life lessons that you can start implementing right away, and it also will make you think, so that's something. I gave Let Love Take Over 3.5 out of 5 stars. So, what did you think of this video? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Will you go and get yourself a copy of Let Love Take Over by Thompson Robert after watching this video? And if you do decide to go ahead and buy this book, then please use my Amazon affiliate link in the description box below. And let me know what you think in general, and if you are going to add this to your TBR, to your wish list. Are you going to buy it? Are you going to gift it to someone? Just let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.